Hello there, Monday the 19th of December 2011. Welcome along to today's United Kingdom talk. Well, if you're watching yesterday's show, I did tell you that I did a new place in Basildon in Essex on Saturday night. I was DJing there, a place called Colours in Basildon. Nice night, very nice indeed. We had a couple of really wonderful cabaret artists on. Mary Mack is a drag queen, young drag queen, very, very good. Wonderful song she sung. And also a Katy Perry tribute girl who came along and done Katy Perry numbers, and she was very, very good as well. So a rather nice weekend. But I must say, it must be the coldest club I have ever worked in my life. I'm sure my toes had frostbite by the time I finished in there. Oh, it was so cold. And all I had with me, of course, was I had a T-shirt on and a hooded top. I don't think I took them off all night long. So if I get another job there, I think next time I might take a fan heater with me. I've done that before. Oh yeah, I've turned up at clubs before with a fan heater and of course a flask of tea. I always turn up with a flask. Do you want to drink? They say, do you want to drink, Chris? No, thank you, I've got some tea. And they're like, what? I said, I bought a flask with me. Why have you bought that? I said, do you make tea? No. Well, that's why I've got a flask. I'm very cheap, very, very cheap indeed. Now, on yesterday's show, we were talking about Kwik Fit and how they were telling me that I needed 4 new tyres, when I damn well knew that I only needed 2 tyres. And I said, anyone else got any experience of this? Write in. Well, it's like an avalanche has come in. So many emails have come in about this. Hello, Ben Gill, who I was talking to on the Facebook yesterday, said, hi mate, it's a great show. My view is to always go to the garage your vehicle is associated with, i.e. Toyotas, go to a Toyota garage, which is usually what I do, Ben, but for tyres I think it's slightly different. That's why I shopped around, but disappointed through shopping around. I shan't do that again. Ben says it's expensive for tyres because they charge you for the labour and not the actual tyre. It is so expensive for tyres. I don't know why. Someone else wrote on the subject of why is it so expensive for tyres. I think it was young Sean. And I haven't actually got I don't think I got that email with me now. Oh, was that it there? No. I think it was Sean who wrote in and said he thinks the reason is because of the disposal of the tyre. You know, £70 for a bit of rubber on your wheel. Hello to Aaron from Reach On Air. Hello, Aaron. I haven't heard from you for ages. Hello, Aaron. I didn't know you were still with us, Aaron. Not as in alive or dead. I mean, we're still listening to this show. He says, hi, Chris. I also had a bad experience with Kwik Fit. They fouled my MOT and said I needed a new catalytic converter and a new tyre as a nail was in it along with other things, all costing over £800 for the work. You know, where do you get £800 from? I don't know what planet some of these people live on, Aaron. You know, they think you can produce £800 from air. It's so expensive, isn't it? I left and went to a friend's garage. Didn't go there to start with as it was quite far away. The outcome? There was nothing wrong with the car apart from them recommending, okay, not saying they needed to be done, recommending the brakes were changed, just £80. And Aaron goes on to say, I would never go to Kwik Fit ever again. Interesting to hear about the other stories. Hope you're well, from Aaron. Yeah, great to hear from you, Aaron. Yes, there's been plenty of other stories that have come in, some quite funny. For example, young Joseph writes, just because you're a woman, they think they can take the mick. What do you mean by that, Joe? I know about tyres. I know when I'm being ripped off and when I'm not, or when they try and rip me off. You know, it's a shame, really. You know, when you think about it, because they could have sold me, Kwik Fit could have sold me 2 tyres, couldn't they? Quite happily have taken my money for 2 tyres, but instead they said I needed 4, so I didn't buy any from them at all. Their loss. Chris Bedwell in Essex, hello Chris, says Kwik Fit are always terrible. They give honest car mechanics like my dad a bad name. Well, not if he doesn't work for Kwik Fit. You know, I wouldn't blame your dad at all there. Jeff says, I avoid places like Kwik Fit like the plague. When I first had a car, I went to one, they said my brakes were dead. He didn't use the term dead, it's another word beginning with F, which I cannot say on this programme, with no swearing on this programme. And it would be 400 quid to sort them. I went to another garage who told me all I needed were the front pads changed, which I could do myself, you see. Jeff says, main dealers can be cunning gits too. Well, yes, I mean, we know that, but fortunately, the one I go to, the Toyota in Bracknell, Octagon Toyota, are not cunning at all. I've never had a complaint about them. I've been going there about 6 years now. Joe also says, it's one of those things that you have to get recommendations from friends, as I think there are more rip-off merchants than honest ones, sadly. Yeah, I agree. I mean, which garage do you go from? If I mean, I say I know about cars. I don't know everything about cars. When they say this or that needs replacing, how do you know? You don't know, do you? Really, you're just taking their word for it. Claire says, Kwik Fit car insurance liars to rip off. That's what Claire said. Dave Holt, hello Dave, says, when I needed a new clutch, one guy I rang said, oh, you need a new one of these things, before he had even seen the car. Turns out my car never even had that part on it. It's a joke, isn't it? It's a joke. Michelle, that wasn't incidentally Kwik Fit, that one. But here's another one that is from Michelle. I'm taking my car to Kwik Fit in the morning for a service. This is what she was talking on the Facebook last week. If they tell me my car is falling apart, I'll take it elsewhere for a second opinion. So this is what happens with Michelle. If I can find that bit. Where's that gone now? Michelle says, oh, well, that was fun. This is after she took it to Kwik Fit for service. The nice man at Kwik Fit told me I needed 3 new tyres, £145 each. She puts in brackets, probably made of solid gold. Replace front brake discs, £170.80. Replace rear brake discs, £89.80. Top up brake fluid, £39.95. Grand total, £735.55. This is what Michelle's been told by Kwik Fit. She then goes on to say, I drove straight to a little tyre place where the guy told me two new tyres would cost £140. Remember, she's already been told at Kwik Fit they will cost her £145 each. She's gone to a little tyre place. They told her 2 new tyres would be £140. Now, we don't know if they were the same manufacturer. As well, you know, stuff like Michelin tends to be a little bit cheaper perhaps than Continental, you know. But they're all, you know, not too far apart. Certainly not £145 each and then £140 for 2. I then called Audi, who told me they would never fit new brake discs without new brake pads, and Kwik Fit would have probably waited until I got there to tell me about the brake pads. Anyway, Audi are going to do the discs and pads for £249, so I'm happy. Remember, she's already been told £170 for the front ones, £89 for the rear ones, and that's only the discs. She's getting the pads here as well for that money. She says, just a bit gutted that my service book has now got a dirty big Kwik Fit stamp in it. I would have probably just told them to do it, so cheers. As in all the work that I just told him about. The thing is with Michelle, she just happened to notice what we were talking about on Facebook. I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday night. And she was booked in to Kwik Fit service the next day. So she's lucky because had she not have seen this conversation, she would have said, oh yeah, just go and do the work. You see, it's shocking. And the list goes on. The list goes on. Rob Hello Rob says, Kwik Fit are shocking. They work to targets, hence the pressure to lie. And they do lie. I had the experience on it the other day. They lied. They told me I needed 4 tyres. I knew damn well I only needed 2. I'd already been told I needed 2. Local ones won't. Yet some backstreet garages can be bad. But I use one just round the corner and they are great. Cheap, honest and say when it's a fuse gone and not some massive part needs replacing. Rob goes on to say, my girlfriend had an MOT at Kwik Fit. It was cheap, but they said the exhaust was broken. She says, that's funny. You fitted one less than a year ago, plucking out the receipt, and it was an invoice from another Kwik Fit location. You know, I mean, it's just a joke. Arthur Sutherland. He writes in, Chris, Kwik Fit have been at it for years. 1982, I refurbished a clapped-out 60s Cortina Mark III. Oh, beautiful car. Do you know what, Arthur? I always wanted one. I never had one. I always wanted a Cortina. Never had one. The last job was to fit a new exhaust, at which these crooks said they would do while I waited. After about 10 minutes, one of them came into the waiting room and said I needed a couple of new shock absorbers. Now, any fool could have seen that the shocks were brand new. He fitted them himself. They were all just fitted the day before. When I went out to look, without saying anything about this, it was obvious they had painted some dirty oil up the side of the back ones. I just said get on with the exhaust. While they finished the job, I popped out and phoned Farmer, the guy who owned them at the time, as I knew him slightly. When they came back to give me the keys, I asked how much and they said they had been told this one was on the house. I've never used them since and always thought it strange that Farmer sold the business shortly after. So there we are. I mean, more stuff there from Kwik Fit, and I think we'll close that book there. Just quickly here, from Gary and Sue, who writes, so Chris, you can get better than a Kwik Fit fitter, and they are not the boys to trust. I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. There are so many stories. I mean, you have to remember, put things in the context of things. You know, this little show that I do, we haven't got thousands and thousands of viewers. You know, maybe 100, maybe a couple of hundred. Okay? And in that couple of hundred, all those people had had a bad experience of Kwik Fit. So now times that by thousands of people, right? You see what I'm saying, yeah? You know, this is a very, very small program, this, that I do. And yet, all that feedback. Do you remember the TV ad? Sue says. It's going back a few years now. Of course I do. You can't get quicker than a Kwik Fit fitter. You can't get quicker than a Kwik Fit fitter. That one, isn't it? Something like that. I think it's like that. So there we are. Interesting, though, that I started off that conversation on the Facebook. My Facebook username is Chris Reardon UK, all right? And I think in future shows that might be a good idea to start a conversation going on the Facebook and then bring it into the show sort of thing. I would do it on Twitter, but I've never really got Twitter. I've said this so many times before. I just don't get it. You know, I mean, what can you say in 140 characters? It just doesn't. Twitter doesn't make sense to me. Never has done. I stick with the Facebook. Although I'm very disappointed to notice that Facebook has changed again. They've now got this timeline thing. So I clicked on it thinking I'll try that out. And I thought, no, I don't like it. Then I looked how to take it back to what it was. Oh, no, you can't do it. Once you've changed the timeline, you can't change it back again. But even so, I mean, everyone's going to be moved on to this new Facebook timeline thing very shortly. I personally think it's very, very messy. I don't like it. But as usual, you know, what chance do we have with these computer things? The people that run this Mark Zuckerberg or whatever his name is, Zuckerberg. What's his name? That Mark bloke who runs the Facebook, you know, he chooses what to do and then implements it. That's it. You haven't got any say. And that's the one thing I really hate about computers, you know, and programs like that. Anyway, that's enough. It's been a bit of a moaning show today, and so close to Christmas as well. Sorry. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.